Michael Ngade joins us this morning. Good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Oluchi. It's a lovely week, and of course, very first week in the month of April, very first Monday right here. Let me bring you up to speed with what is happening as we are still battling the COVID-19 pandemic across Africa and also the world. Now, let's begin with Nigeria, where the government is set to revise the COVID-19 travel protocol for travelers, or rather, the revised travel protocol for travelers arriving in the country. It takes effect today, Monday, the 4th of April, 2022. And this is according to the chairman of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, Boss Mustapha. According to this new protocol, it stipulates that inbound passengers to Nigeria who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 are no longer required to carry out COVID-19 PCR tests before boarding Nigerian-bound flights. Also, fully vaccinated passengers arriving in Nigeria will not be required to carry out a post-arrival PCR test or a rapid antigen test upon arriving in Nigeria. Now, children below the age of 18 years will also be accorded the same privileges as persons who are fully vaccinated. However, inbound passengers who are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated for COVID-19 will still be required to take a COVID-19 PCR test 48 hours before departure and also undergo 2 and 7 days post-arrival PCR test at their own cost. All passengers traveling out of Nigeria are also encouraged to have evidence of their full vaccination against COVID-19 and also comply with the COVID-19 guidelines of their destinations or transit. This definitely is good news, if you ask me, because we have seen a whole lot. 45,000 naira people keep paying, but some people have complained that, after paying this 45,000 naira, no test is carried out. So the question is, where do these monies go to? Who is in charge of this? Who should we question? But now this revised travel protocols have now taken off that you don't need to bother yourself about going out there to, get tested. But it's also important that, people get fully vaccinated, because the fact that this protocol has been revised and it's taking effect today does not mean you should stay unvaccinated. Ensure you stay vaccinated, because there's definitely going to be a time you'll be traveling out. Some people will tell you, I don't have a visa, but you never can tell where you'll be going to tomorrow. Let me take you now to China, where China has reported 13,000 COVID-19 cases, the most since the peak of the first pandemic infected with the virus in the past week, according to the latest figures from the Britain's official statistics agency. Just like what I said before now, the fact that some countries are revisiting some of these travel protocols does not mean that the pandemic is over. Recall it started from Wuhan, China, back there in 2020, but rather in 2019, before 2020 now, where it went full-blown in 2020, we had the lockdown where everyone was really, really affected. Joe and Oluchi, you can also bear me witness, especially Oluchi as well. Joe, you shared a story with me last week about how you were able to survive, the whole lockdown phase. But now the world is reopening gradually, but let's also stay vaccinated and also adhere strictly to some of these COVID-19 protocols and regulations that has been set by governments, especially, health governments like the World Health Organization, Africa CDC, and of course, all of them. But before I let you go this morning, let me bring you up to speed with what the numbers are saying. According to Africa Center for Disease Control, in Africa, we have recorded 11,343,461 COVID-19 cases, while the death toll stands at 251,298, while recoveries is pegged at 10,697,502. Okay, now that is for Africa. Let's now move globally and let you know what the figures are saying globally. For the world in general, we have recorded 486,761,597 COVID cases globally, and the death toll stands at 6,142,735. That's a huge number, if you ask me, but we can actually bring it down together. Stay vaccinated, make sure you use those hand sanitizers, avoid crowded places, and please do what you can to stay safe. Back to you, Joe and Oluchi.
Very true, and also be fully vaccinated, because the information you've just given out only applies to fully vaccinated travelers. If you're partially vaccinated or unvaccinated, then you may have to pay that lump sum of amount, if not higher, for the PCR test or for any other test you might be randomly selected for.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael Ngene, for giving us the latest COVID-19.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.